So in this video, we're going to do a few additional problems dealing with triangles, mostly focusing on the definitions and content from task 8. So this first one is we are trying to find the value of x, y, and z giving this triangle. So we have this large triangle and we have this line here. Be careful, we don't know that these two angles are equal. I know they look like they're equal and they look like they're 90, but we don't actually know that. So we need to figure out x, y, and z, their measures. And so you always want to start with the triangle that you know two of the other angles. So I can start with this left triangle here. And find x using the idea that, okay, I have three angles in a triangle. I know that those three angles always have to add up to 180. Okay? So I'm going to do it the algebraic way. You could also just do 180 minus 40 minus 52. And then that's practically what we're doing when we solve this equation to find it. So 52 plus 40 is 92 plus x equals 180. We would subtract both sides, 92 from both sides, and then x is 88. Okay, so notice it is not 90. It's close, but it's not 90. Okay, so then we need to find y and z. Right? And there's, again, different ways to approach this. But one way to look out for is that when you have two angles, these two angles, x and y, that share this common vertex, okay, and share this side here, so they're called adjacent angles. Those two angles, if they form a straight angle, so they form this kind of straight line, which just means it's a straight angle, those two angles always add up to 180. So 88 plus y has to equal 180. And if I kind of take it out of the triangle, it looks like this, if you can see it better. And so these two form this straight angle, and that's 180 degrees. Okay, so then again, to solve for y, we would subtract 88 from both sides, and we get 92. Okay, so y is 92. And my recommendation is also always after you find the angle to put it back in the diagram, because if you're finding more than one thing, there's a good chance you would need it. Okay, so then z is our last one, and z is very similar to x now. We have this triangle. I know two of the angles, so I can find the third by adding those three angles and setting them equal to 180, or just doing 180 minus 32 minus 92. So 92 plus 32 is 124. And then if you do 180 minus 124, you get z is 56. Just one other note, again, there's like always lots of ways to do these problems. To find z, you could also look at like the big triangle. So if you got stuck on y, which a lot of students do, you could find z first by thinking like, okay, I have a triangle again, and the three angles add up to 180. So those three angles are 40, and then these two angles together, so it would be 52 plus 32. So this like entire angle is 84. And so you could do like 40 plus 84 plus z equals 180. And then 40 plus 84, again, is that 124 plus z equals 180. And then again, if we subtract 124 from both sides, we get z equals 56. Okay? And then if you knew that first, you could use it to find y using the other triangle. Okay. So this one, we are finding all the variables. There's a lot more, but it's kind of the similar idea to the one we just did. So again, see first if you have a triangle with two of the angle measures and you're only missing one, which unfortunately is not here. Like I have DC and then 32, so I can't find them right now. I have 55 and BA, so that doesn't really help me. I do have that situation we had last one, where here is my straight angle. And these two angles, again, share a common vertex and a side, so they add up to 180. Again, they're supplementary. So I know that C plus 55 has to equal 180. And so I can just do 180 minus 55, and then C is 125. And if you don't want to set up the algebra and just subtract, that's fine as well. Okay, and again, once you know it, always put it back in, because now I have two angles in a triangle, and so I can find D by adding those three angles together and equaling them to 180. Okay, or again, just subtracting those two angles from 180. So this is D plus 157 equals 180, and then if you subtract 157, you get 23. Okay, so again, I'm going to put that in. It might help, it might not. So we need B and A, okay, and E. So if we look at B to start, okay, I have this box. Remember, that means 90 degrees. And I know that the angle 32 and B together, so that means I can add them, and they have to equal 90. Okay, or again, you can just do 90 minus 32, which is 58. So that would be B. And then again, now I have two angles in a triangle, and I'm missing the third. So again, I usually set these up with algebra, but you are welcome to just do 180 minus 55 minus 58. Okay, so those add up to 130. And then I would subtract 113 from both sides, and I get A is 67. And then the last one is E. Okay, so again, I have this straight angle. I know the other side of it is these two angles together, which we said is 90. So we know that E plus 90 has to equal 180. And I'm sure some of you can be like, I can just tell that it's 90, which is perfectly fine. So E is 90, okay, because it's this part is 90. The other half would also have to be 90, because 90 plus 90 equals 180. Okay, so this is a second example of finding angle measures in a triangle.